Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Pangea. At this time, we ask that you please silence any mobile devices you have with you. Thanks so much. And now Pangea is proud to present Matsuki in This Broad's Way.
Nothing seemed to matter anymore. I didn't care what I was headed for. Time was standing still. Nothing counted till there came a knock, knock, knocking at the door. It's love, it's love. Well, who would have thought it? If this is love, then why have I fought it? What a way to feel I can touch the sky. What a way to feel I'm a different gal. It's love at last. I've someone to cheer for. It's love at last. I've learned what I'm here for. I've heard it said, you'll know it when you see it. Well, I see it, I feel it. Love. I walked right in and drove those shadows away. Love walked right in, brought my sunniest day. One magic moment, and my heart seemed to know that love said, hello. No, not a word was spoken. One look, and I forgot the gloom of the past. One look, and I had found my future at last. One look, and I had found a world completely new. I knew from the start this would be my day. All those greetings when love walked in, when y'all came my way. When love walked in with you. On the radio today, all they ever play is thunk, 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 thunk. Well, I've had it up to here, so please don't bend my ear with punk or funk, it's junk. When I pine for a lyric line or a mellow melody, guys like Hammerstein and Julie Stein are the stars that shine for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my guilty pleasure. Wanna sing, I'll show tune. Good old Broadway show tune. Nothing that has no tune. Something that has heart. Something you can hum or can strum by the hour. Something kind of light that's as bright as a flower. Something with a tune I can croon in the shower to help the day start. If can keep those rock songs. I don't need those schlock songs. Only summer stock songs get me tapping my toe. How I love to sing a ditty that's witty and stylish, something Gerwin-esque, Porter-esque, or Kurt Weilish. Wanna sing a show tune from a Broadway show. Hello, Dolly. Some enchanted evening. I'm just the gal who can't say no to Heart. Lorenzo, something you can la-da-dee-da by the hour. Make believe you're Bennett or Fosse or Gower. Something you can scat slightly flat in the shower. Who cares if it's art? You can keep those rock songs. I don't need those schlock songs. Only summer stock songs get me raring to go. From cabaret to carousel, let me tell you how fond I'm of anything by Berlin or Rogers or Sondheim. That's a joke. Wanna sing a show tune, a learner and a low tune. Gotta sing a show tune from a Broadway show. Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for being here. Woohoo! You know, for a performer, this is the best gift we get, right? You're all performers, all right? Best gift is to have a full house, to just be with each other for music and celebration. So if I could come back as anything in my next life, it would be as a Broadway star. People say, go for it, you can do it, there's still time, Broadway's open. The truth is, that's a whole other ball of wax and a whole other set of skills that I don't have. It has not stopped me, however, from loving the genre, nor has it stopped me from practicing my Tony Award-winning speech. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks for everyone who voted for me. Hey, shout out Lin-Manuel. This is to all those 7-year-old girls singing upstairs in their bedroom, hoping one day they'll leave this small town and come to Broadway and be a star. Yeah, it's kind of pathetic, right? What's pathetic, actually, is that I remember it. Only back in the day, it was Mr. Ben Vereen, not Lin-Manuel. But I remember it. So what am I right now? I am a fairly successful, very happy person that gets to sing in a beautiful room like this, up close and personal to people like you, with up close and personal musicians like these. Please welcome David Silliman on drums. Marcus, you're gonna you're in his lap practically. Skip Ward on bass. And my musical director, my arranger, my dear friend, we have been together for 27 years. This is our 27th year we're collaborating, Mr. Gregory Toroian. That means something. That's our...
It does mean something.
Oh, no. Thank you. You just made my night and the start of my brand new year of life. Thank you so much. So the concept of tonight's show is just simply that all the songs in the show are from a Broadway show, with the exception of Wanna Sing a Show Tune that was written by Ray Jessel, who who left us. I love Ray. But it was in a Love Boat something or another. But that's the only one that's not actually from a Broadway show. We have taken many liberties with the arrangements, thanks to Gregory's beautiful talent. We have done a couple tunes that were pulled out of Broadway shows and put into the movie version of the show. Several are jazz standards, like the opening number that became, came out of Broadway shows and became jazz standards. All of them were taken out of context to the show. And my favorite category are songs that I would never get cast to sing. All right here, done this Broad's way. Yay. So now that you got the concept, let's get the cabaret part of this show going, shall we? So my husband and I, when we were first living together 37 years ago, yeah, long time, we decided we were going to go to an animal shelter with the intention of maybe adopting a dog. But we walked in, and there she was. This long-haired black Persian cat, huge, huge cat, with eyes the color and size of green grapes. Well, she started to work her little kitty magic on my husband to the most shameless degree. You know how they do, they walk between your legs, swish the tail up, and do that a couple times. Well, he was like immediately in love. I was a bit jealous. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And little man, little Lola wants you. Make up your mind to have no regrets. Resign yourself, recline yourself, you're through. I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. Take off your coat. Don't you know you can't win? There's no exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool. Give in. 24 hours later, we wake up and we take Kenro to the hospital with a severe allergic reaction. When the doctor said, "Have you brought anything new into the household?" we were like, "No." When I look in your eyes, I see the wisdom of the years in your eyes. I see the sadness of 1,000 goodbyes. When I look in your eyes, and it is no surprise to see the softness of the moon in your eyes, the gentle sparkle of the stars in the sky. I just look in your eyes. In your eyes, I see the deepness of the sea. I see the deepness of the love I feel you feel for me. Summer comes, autumn dies. I see the passing of the years in your eyes. And when we part, there'll be no tears, no goodbyes. I'll just look in your eyes. Those eyes so wise, so warm, so real. How I love the world. Your eyes reveal. Our Lola went to go live on a nice farm and catch mice. She ended up being a very good mouser. So, back in my biker chick days, I'm gonna just let that sit there for a minute. Do you hear a ba-da-da-da? Anyway, back in the day, I dated a lot of tough guys. You know, the type of guy, yeah, right? You might know some of these guys, you know. The type of guy that thought like a butt crack was a fashion statement. Leather-wearing, long-haired, hairy, aqua velva-smelling, Harley-riding dudes. Yeah, with that chain that's hooked onto their wallet, which, think about it, was probably the reason for the butt crack. Just saying. Not that that resembles anyone up here on this stage at all. Oh, no. But they all had a heart of gold. These guys all had a heart of gold. They looked a lot tougher than they were. They were big. They all are family men now and sweet, and they're all my brother's friends and everything. So back in my day, there was no apps, there was no swiping, and it was like, you know, a guy's profile meant whether or not he had a big nose. That was it. So when I brought this one guy home, there was only one guy that all 7 of my brothers, I'll let that sit there for a minute. That made me one thing, the oldest living virgin on earth. I'll let you figure it out why. But I just couldn't believe it. I thought he was tall, dark, handsome, mysterious, and, you know, sharp. Right there. Thanks. Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. What? He served a dark and a hungry God. Of gentlemen who never thereafter were heard from again. He trod a path that few have trod, that Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Fleet Street. He kept a shop in London town for fancy clients of good renown. What if none of their souls were saved? They went to their makers impeccably shaved. My Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Fleet Street. Freely flow. easy chair. A mug of soda, a leather strap, an apron, a towel, a pail, and a mop. For neatness he deserved a nod. That's Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Inconspicuous Sweeney was quick and quiet and clean. He was back of his hand, man of his word. Sweeney heard music that nobody heard. Sweeney pondered and Sweeney planned like a perfect machine. He planned. Sweeney was cool, Sweeney was subtle. Sweeney would blink and rats would scuttle. Sweeney, 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 Sweeney. Raise your razor high, Sweeney. Hold it to the sky. Freely flows the blood of those who are alive. Attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. He served a dark and a hungry God. To seek revenge may lead to hell, but everyone goes there and seldom as well as Sweeney Todd. The demon barber of Fleet Street. That was arranged by our good friend John McMahon. Can I have a touch less reverb on this? Thanks. There's not a morning when I open up my eyes and find I didn't dream of you. Without a warning, though it's never a surprise, soon as I awake, thoughts of you arise. With every breath I take, at any time or place, I close my eyes and see your face, and I'm embracing you. If only I believe that dreams come true. Darling, you were the one who said forever from the start, and I've been drifting since you've gone out on a lonely sea that only you can chart. I keep going on, knowing that my heart will break. Men, what are you going to do with them? Sorry, did I insult your gender?
I thought I would trill you.
You trill me.
Yeah, where are you?
You missed your cue there, dude. That's coming out of the paycheck. That is so coming out of the paycheck. I didn't do my own thing on the piano here. Yeah. That's it. $20 from you to me. That's it. Damn. Shall we? Why would a fellow want a girl like her? A frail and fluffy beauty. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a solid girl like me? She's a frothy little bubble with a frilly sort of charm. And with very little trouble, I could break her little arm. Why would a fella want a girl like her so obviously unusual? Why can't a fella ever once prefer a usual girl like me? Okay, her cheeks are a pretty shade of pink, but not any pinker than a rose's. Her skin may be delicate and soft, but not any softer than a dose's. Her neck is no wider than a swan. She's only as dainty as a daisy. She's only as graceful as a bird. So why is the fella going crazy? Why would a fella want a girl like her? So obviously unusual. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a usual girl like me? She's a frothy little bubble with a frilly sort of air, and with very little trouble I could pull out all her hair. Easy. Why would a fella want a girl like her? A frail and fluffy beauty. Why can't a fella ever once prefer a girl who's merely me? A girl who's merely me. You can see we're taking lots of liberties with how these were originally done. So this next section, there's 4 songs that we're going to do, and it's from a show that Gregory and I did some 20-something years ago, as directed by a friend who's in the room, Mr. Jerry Geddes. Remember the show? The show is called Speaking of Happiness, and the premise was that I got anonymous letters from my friends from 17 to 90, and it was a story that I asked them to give me one story of happiness, of bliss, something that was pocketed into a position of happiness or strength, and we got a whole bunch of letters, and then Jerry, Gregory, and I sat down and put music to that, and that was the show concept. It was really, really interesting. Jerry, we should try that from a guy's perspective and do it from a guy's perspective. That might be a whole other ball of wax, but that might be fun. So this was literally one of my favorite letters. I thought that it was my mother at first until it translated down, and I realized, no, that's not my mom, but it could be any woman of a certain age born in this era. But you'll see why this lady is someone that I love and why this is in this show. I spent my 20s and the 50s. That's the name of my book, if ever I write it. I had 2 husbands and 5 kids by the time I was 32. With my first husband, it seemed like I was always pregnant. I used to joke that my gynecologist wouldn't recognize me unless my dress blew up. That's why I thought it was my mom, because she would have said that. But this is this other lady. While he was a tiger in bed, my husband, not the gynecologist, he was an interesting man. This is a man who thinks with his heart, but his heart isn't always right. This is a man who will stumble and fall. But this is a man who tries. This is a man you'll forgive and forgive. He will not always say what you would have him say, but now and then he'll say something wonderful. The thoughtless things he'll do will hurt and worry you. Then all at once he'll do something wonderful. He has 1,000 dreams that won't come true. You know that he believes in them, and that's enough for you. You'll always go along, defend him when he's wrong, and tell him when he's strong, he is wonderful. He'll always need your love, and so he'll get your love. A man who needs your love can be wonderful. My second husband, with my second husband, I did the best I could with the tools that we had back then. Remember, we didn't have Oprah. I'll be so happy to keep his dinner warm while he goes onward and upward. Happy to keep his dinner warm till he comes wearily home from downtown. I'll be there waiting until his mind is clear while he looks through me, right through me, waiting to say, "Good evening, dear. I'm pregnant. What's new with you from downtown?" Oh, to be loved by a man I respect, to bask in the glow of his perfectly understandable neglect. Oh, to belong in the aura of his frown, darling busy frown, such heaven wearing the wifely uniform while he goes onward and upward, happy to keep his dinner warm till he comes home. Well, I divorced my first husband for all the reasons two people who marry too young divorce. But when I left my second husband, I found myself. Dear Tom, yes, I always fixed your suppers. Dear Tom, yes, I gave more than I got. Dear Tom, you thought that I was perfect. Well, I'm not. All those years you were living with someone who was hiding behind a smile. All those years I was someone else. Deception was my style. I closed you out by asking for nothing, 'cause I needed someone to blame. You couldn't give what I didn't ask for. It was a perfect game. Dear Tom, I wish that I had known you. Dear Tom, wish that you'd known me. Dear Tom, I hope we've both learned something. Well, we'll see. The last part of the letter that was not my mom, she wrote, "Oh yeah, I'm now a published poet and a lesbian." At least I don't think it was my mother. Strange dear, but true dear. When I'm close to you, dear, the stars fill the sky. So in love with you am I. Even without you, my arms fold about you. You know, darling, why? So in love with you am I. In love with the night, mysterious, the night when you first were there. In love with my joy, delirious, when you said that you could care. So taunt me and hurt me, deceive me, desert me. I'm yours till I die. So in love, so in love, so in love with you, my love, am I. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I have a song list if you want to know what all these shows are from afterwards. Well, we're having cake outside. Yay! So also about 20 years ago, I won my first MAC award for female jazz vocalist or something like that. But the minute, thank you. I know, I'm very fancy, very fancy. I have like, I don't know, 11 nominations in 9 different categories and won 3 or 4 times, I don't even know, 3 or 4 times I think. But anyway, my first time winning a MAC award, I step off of stage and a friend comes running up to me and says, "Well, you know the MAC awards are just really a popularity contest." Okay. Well, my first response was a swear word. My second response was, "Oh, she's kind of right." And my third response was, so what if I'm popular? That's cool, and it comes with a shiny little trophy, which she didn't win that night, just saying. Not to be bitchy or anything, but just saying. So what I offer to you tonight as the godmother of cabaret, as some of you refer to me, is that, you know, you want to win a MAC award? I can kind of give you a few tips on your path. Whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, and let's face it, who isn't? Less fortunate than I, my tender heart tends to start to bleed. And when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. I know exactly what they need. And even in your case, though it's the toughest case I've yet to face, don't worry, I'm determined to succeed. Follow my lead, and yes, indeed. You'll be popular, you're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper ploys, how to talk to boys, little ways to flit and flounce. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be popular. You're gonna be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you ought to know. So let's start, 'cause you've got an awfully long way to go. Don't be offended by my frank analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Now that I've chosen to become a pal, a sister, and advisor, there's nobody wiser, not when it comes to popular. It's all about popular. And with an assist from me to be who you'll be, instead of dreary who you were, who are, there's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular. Gonna make you popular. When I see depressing creatures with unrepossessing features, I remind them on their own behalf to think of celebrated heads of state or especially great communicators. Did they have brains or knowledge? Don't make me laugh, please. They were popular. It's all about popular. It's not about aptitude, clearly. It's the way you're viewed, so it's very shrewd to be very, very popular, like me. Though you profess your disinterest, I know clandestinely you're gonna grin and bear it, your newfound popularity. La la, la 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 la, you'll be popular, just not quite as popular as me. Yeah, that's about as far as you can go. Put popular to a bassa. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Gregory.
Okay.
So, When my fabulous director and I worked together, Miss Lena Katrakis, she said something that I thought was hysterical. While we were working, she said that her then boyfriend, now fiance, yay, said to her, "Why is everything with you a music cue?" And I'm like, clearly, and he does work in the business, I'm like, clearly he doesn't understand the ways of our people. So she said to him, "Well, you know, you better get used to that because when I have Alzheimer's, that's the only way you're going to be able to communicate with me." Now, of course, Alzheimer's is not funny, but any of us who have been through it with a relative know that you have to find the humor to get through it and to help them get through it. So I just thought that was hysterical. And I had my step-grandma, my Scottish grandmother on my stepdad's side, Grandma Barlow, lived with us from dementia and through to full-blown Alzheimer's. And she used to sit in this wing-back chair in the living room, and she'd have her arms crossed, and she would just rock back and forth, and she'd look up at you like this. And she'd go, boy, 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 boy. It drove my mother nuts. The kids, though, we just adored her because she would lift her head sometimes and really make that eye contact with you. I always felt like it was almost easier when she went over to full-blown because then she wasn't cognitively aware of how much she was losing or feeling self-conscious about things that she couldn't remember. So the kids and I, at least once a week, one of us would go up to her and say, "Grandma Barlow, what did the Scotsmen wear under their kilts?" She would raise her hand, with her arms crossed, and she'd say, "Well, you know, lass, I've got a funny story about that. One time, this gentleman said, I said, 'What do you wear up your kilt?' And he said, 'Well, lass, you have to put your hand up there and find out for yourself.'" We were scandalized, but we would ask her once a week because it cracked us up. But the way she delivered it was just right there. She was so present, so present. And then when we'd scream, "Well," she would kind of start to giggle and go back into her position of boy, boy, boy. It was a beautiful thing, and it was a very hard thing. When you're awake, the things you think come from the dreams you dreamed. Thought has wings, and lots of things are seldom what they seem. Sometimes you think you've lived before all that you've lived today. Things you do come back to you as though they knew the way. Oh, the tricks your mind can play. It seemed we stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The clothes you're wearing are the clothes you wore. The smile you are smiling, you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. And though it seems that we had talked before and laughed before and loved before, but I can't remember. I remember sky. It was blue is ink. Or at least I think I remember sky. I remember snow, soft as feather, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like lint. And it made you squint when the wind would blow. And ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver, white as sheets, rain like strings and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas. And parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, muddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise and bees and boys. Boy, boy, boy. And days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as years go by, they're a sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think we stood and talked like this before. Here's to all our grandmas. She was a funny lady. Oh, okay, so where do we go from here? How do we get us out of that? Oh, I know. Go to the husband, go to Kenro, because he's not here. He's sick as a dog, by the way. He's sick as a dog. I had stomach flu last week, and I gave it to him, so today, forget it. That was one of the things that happened today. And I'm just sad he's not here, but now he can talk about him, and who cares? We'll just edit this off of the video, though. I'll never know. None of you will tell. None of you ever see him, so there you go. The infamous Kenro Matsuki. Actually, Skip finally met him. He came to my house yesterday, and he finally met him. He's like, he does exist. He does exist. He's not just Susan's joke material. So, I told you, we were together 37 years, but 34 years ago, he woke up one morning, and he said, hey, baby, let's do it. And I went, we don't have time, we have to go to work. And he goes, no, stupid, let's go get married today. From this moment on, you for me, dear, only 240, dear. From this moment on, from this happy day, no more blue songs, only whoop-dee-doo songs. From this moment on, well, you got the love I need so much. You got the skin I love to touch. Got the arms to hold me tight. Got sweet lips to kiss me goodnight. From this moment on, you and I, babe, will be flying Let's hear it for the band. Love I need so much. Got the skin I love to touch. Got the arms to hold me tight. Got sweet lips to kiss me goodnight. From this moment on, you and I, babe, will be flying high, babe. Every care is gone. From this moment, this very moment, from this moment on. I always say, why have drums in a show if you don't have at least one drum solo? It's disrespectful. So believe it or not, we're at the last couple of tunes of the show. I want to express a few thanks to everyone here at Pangea, Stephen and Arnaldo, our incredible hosts, and their team of Hannah and Marek and Marvin in the kitchen and Luca on bar, and just incredible. They treat me like royalty here, and thank you so much for having us again. On lights and sound, we have the wonderful Chris. I want to acknowledge my friend Steve Bustamante on video, and Helene Bloomfield, who came here to take pictures of us earlier on this afternoon. Thank you, Helene, for being here and capturing some of this for us. So it's been a hell of a day. Great love, birthday wishes. Oh my goodness, I couldn't stand it. It was just so wonderful. And then I figured I'd go to the diva thing and get my nails and hair done, and my beautician just was keeping someone in a chair, and I couldn't get my hair done, so I go home and have to do my own hair. Oh my God. Which meant I couldn't put my eyelashes on. Oh my God. So then I get over myself, and I get in the car, and I come here, and I realized when I crossed the Williamsburg Bridge that my dress was hanging on my closet door. But glass, yes, right? Richard Skipper. Oh, by the way, this is bequeathed to me by Carol Channing, or Reasonable Facsimile. I always have something of Richard or Dana's on, so I have that energy on stage. So, hear all this, and then I said, you know what? Nobody cares what you wear. Just go and be with these wonderful people who've come out to help us celebrate your birthday and be here tonight. I can't even tell you what it means to have you all here in the audience. This is what matters. This is what matters. And I hope you had as good a time being in the room as we had singing to you. Thank you. So here's the thing. Going back to the original concept of why I like Broadway songs so much, and literally sang everything, album to album, cover to cover, just as those are these round black things that you're playing on the record player. But it all comes back to when I came to New York. I'm not going to say I never went on an audition. I went on plenty of auditions, but when the monitor would call Sue Matsuki, I'd sit there looking around for the Asian girl, wondering why she's not going in. And when they got tired and called the next person, I would sneak out. I didn't have the nerve, or the confidence maybe. I learned more from failure than I learned from success. I learned from no thank you so much more than from yes. I learned to be willing to lead with my chin. And if I were willing to lose, I could win. I learned from the losers who got right back in line. The dimmer their future, then the brighter they'd shine. 3 cheers for the one in 100. But God bless the other 99. So as you would imagine, this kind of became a bucket list item for me. So 10 years ago, I decided I was going to go to an audition, and no matter what, with no expectations, I was just going to stay, just for the experience. Well, I didn't get a call back, but I stayed. I learned more from failure than I learned from success. I learned from no thank you so much more than from yes. I learned to be willing to lead with my chin. And if I were willing to lose, I could win. I learned from the losers who got right back in line. The dimmer their future, then the brighter they'd shine. 3 cheers for the one in 100. But God bless, God bless, Jerry, Bob bless. God bless the other 99.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sue Matsuki.
So, there's a few other thank yous that I wanted to save for right now. I mentioned Lena earlier, but if you work with Lena, she's a really quick fix if you know what you're doing. And she really spends time on you when you need more than that. But so she basically, you write too much, she redlines it, she pencils it, okay, that's your pattern, great. She listens to the whole program, this would be better here, that would be better. Okay, great. And she gives the best pre-show backstage speech ever. Which I'm not going to share because it's private, but it's the best backstage pre-show speech ever. So Lena, thank you for everything you bring to the table for all of us. We love working with you. She's extraordinary. Quick mention and shout out to my brother David Silliman for helping me with vocal things. And once again, for this incredible band that I have the joy and the honor to share the stage with, Mr. David Silliman, Mr. Skip Ward, and the one and only, my dear friend, Mr. Gregory Toroian. So when I first heard this song, it's from Once on This Island, and it's clearly a song I would never be cast to sing. But it metaphorically spoke to that 7-year-old's heart back in Waterbury, praying that someday she would leave that town and come do, maybe not Broadway, but what I have the privilege of doing here tonight. And the music went right through me, and all I wanted to do was end the show on a happy note, letting you all know how very, very much it means that you're in this room. And I would have to say that both her and my prayers have been answered Right here, right here. This is all I need. I don't have my shaker. A stranger in white, in a car, going somewhere, going far. How it must feel to go racing wherever you please, flying as free as a bird with its tail in the breeze. Even the fish in the sea, they are longing to fly, catching a glimpse of a stranger in white passing by. Oh gods, are you there? What can I do to get you to look down and give in? Oh gods, hear my prayer. I'm here in the field with my feet on the ground and my fate in the air, waiting for life to begin. Mama's accepted and Tom accepts what he gets, happy with tea in their cups and no holes in their nets, happy to be where they are and to stay where they are. They never even look up at the side of the car. A stranger racing down the beach, racing to places I was meant to reach. My stranger, someday you'll arrive. The car will stop and I'll hop and off we'll drive. Oh gods, let me fly. Send me to places where no one before me has been. You spared my life, tell me why. You get me to jump like a fish to the bait, then tell me to wait, waiting for life to begin. Thank you. There's gonna be cake outside. Woo.